How far could this thing go? And yeah, I think many of us believe Michigan's number 2 in the AP. I think Michigan will be number 2 when the rankings come out tomorrow. It'll go Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Alabama 3, Cincinnati 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, to be honest, the AP has it right. It's the first time the AP has had it right all year. I don't think you can, I don't think you can dismiss what Michigan did to Ohio State. And you can leave it up there so we can talk through. I don't think you can dismiss what Michigan did to Ohio State. And with the way in the fashion in which they won in, the way in which they laid down the smackdown, as they used to say in the WWF, now WWE. So you have Michigan at 2. They beat the number 2 team handily. Georgia's still number 1. They're still undefeated. They're still rolling. You can't take the number 1 spot away from Georgia. Mm-hmm. You keep them 1. Michigan's 2. Cincinnati, you have to have them 3. They're undefeated. They were 4. I think Alabama has put themselves in a situation being 4. Alabama's put themselves in a bit of a bind. And then Oklahoma State, their defense has played well. Mike Gundy has that team rolling. They beat Oklahoma. They'll beat Baylor. And then Notre Dame's in that spot. So I think that's where you have to have that top 6, and the rest doesn't matter for right now. Maz, what do you think?
Did I hit it right last week?
You did.
Alabama's 3. Cincy's 4.
Where does
Even right now? Okay.
Where does Alabama end up? Because I do think they have to win now. I don't think a 2-loss Alabama team gets in anymore.
Not now.
Depending on what Notre Dame and Oklahoma State do.
Well, Notre Dame's done, right?
Okay, yeah, the hell with them. I hope they don't make it on a technicality.
That's another thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, should Notre Dame be allowed to sit home this week?
Notre Dame's technically not done, though. What if Oklahoma State loses to Baylor and then Alabama loses to Georgia and in a blowout fashion?
No. I'm saying Notre Dame is done playing football.
Oh, yeah, they're done. They're done. You're the independent. No conference championship.
Should they be allowed to sit at home? Let Michigan, granted, if Michigan, heaven forbid, loses to Iowa, if Oklahoma State loses to Baylor, should they be allowed? If Cincinnati loses to Houston in their championship, why should Notre Dame get a chance? Now, look,
sitting on the bench.
Full disclosure, I want Notre Dame in because I want to beat Notre Dame's tail.
I'd love to beat them.
Yeah, that would be great.
So selfishly, I want them in. My mind tells me I want them out because there's no way everybody should have to play a 13th game and Notre Dame gets a free shot at the college football playoff.
Yeah, I agree. That would be great to have Notre Dame in there and beat them. You know why? Because then you would have had a chance to beat Penn State, Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Notre Dame all in the same year. So that would be great. I think they should make a rule. If you're independent, obviously Notre Dame is, you got to go undefeated to get into that 4th spot. Like, you got to go into that 4th spot. You can't lose a game and then sit at home and then watch everybody beat themselves up. So I agree with you. I think in order to get that spot as an independent, you got to be 12 and up.
I do think Cincinnati's losing, though. I thought they were going to lose this week to East Carolina.
They're not losing.
I think they're going to lose.
No, they're not.
I think the wave has passed. Like, I think if they were going to lose, I think they would have lost in one of those weird games, like a Tulsa, 1 or 2 lane game or something like that. I think Cincinnati will stay up there and they'll win. So now here's the thing. Like, do you agree with if everybody wins next week? Like, is this what we're looking at? Like, if Michigan wins, Georgia wins, Cincinnati wins, and then Oklahoma. Let's say, so obviously if Georgia wins, that means Alabama loses. 5 and 6. What happens there?
Let me ask you this. That's the question. You're trying to tell me, no offense to Oklahoma State, but you're trying to, let's just assume for a second Alabama loses. And I think Alabama is not getting in at 2 losses.
No, they can't. Not after what they showed.
What if they lose at 3 points, 4 points?
Over a Big 12 champ in Notre Dame?
The hell with Notre Dame.
Not me, to a committee.
Yeah, the hell with Notre Dame.
You talk about
join a group. I know you're making your money on NBC.
Right.
Look,
join a group or pay the price.
I agree with you, Maz. But what I'm telling you is this thing is a business. Do you think they're going to keep Notre Dame and Michigan out of the same place? Can you imagine a national championship game of Notre Dame and Michigan?
Yeah.
They break the records.
Every record known to college football viewing would be broken if Michigan played Notre Dame in a college football playoff final.
Where's the final?
1 versus 2.
I don't know.
It is actually in Indianapolis, same place they're playing this weekend.
It's at Indy.
Good job,
Yeah.
Fish. I see
You're
you
right,
working
Fish.
hard.
Good job, buddy.
Championship game?
Is in
Indianapolis,
So what
yes,
bowl
sir.
game
Which
is
I
that?
hate
At
it.
Lucas Oil.
I hate
It's
it.
a
What bowl game
No,
is that?
national championship. 'Cause
That's
now
the
they do the
national
national
championship.
championship game.
Got
They
it.
don't have it. They don't do it where it's the
Got
Rose
it.
Bowl or Fiesta.
Yeah.
Now
I
it's
hate that,
the
by
national
the way.
I
championship
believe
game.
they're playing on New Year's Eve, though. So any New Year's Eve party people, you might want to change your plans if Michigan gets in.
No,
What do you mean, no?
National championship game has to be at that.
No,
the
talk
week
about
after.
talk about the Final Four.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Oh, I better tell my family in New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean-
to not make any
Yeah,
reservations.
so if you have any
anywhere.
New Year's Eve plans, you might want to change them.
Well, it's typically around that time. Like
Well, they've changed it. It's
they've
been
gone
on New
like
Year's
back
Day.
and forth. Okay.
They've done like the
Oh yeah,
Saturday
you're right.
before.
The Friday it is the
Oh, my
Capital
gosh.
One Orange Bowl and the Goodyear Cotton Bowl on Friday, December 31st are the two
Oh.
college football playoff games.
What are the times?
Time TBD.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
6 and 9, probably.
No, it's going to be 4 and 8.
4 and 8. Yeah, time TBD it says, but that is remarkable. But
I've been asking you guys for the last 3 weeks about Notre Dame and Oklahoma State.
tell me
I kept
that.
asking.
Tell me a committee member with those dollar signs like this that are going to put Oklahoma State in above Notre Dame.
Because they're not going to be the one with the dollar signs. It's going to be the powers that be, the puppets pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Like, and if they go in there and blow that, oh, they're going to be in trouble. I agree. You got Notre Dame, you got Michigan, you got Georgia in there, and
I mean, you could have a rematch of, no, you'd have Michigan, Cincinnati probably 2-3, and Georgia, Notre Dame 1-4.
But the good thing about it is it's still the what ifs. Because legitimately, like Maz said, Alabama could beat Georgia. Mm-hmm. So now you have Georgia sitting there at 1 loss. Alabama still only has 1 loss, and they beat Georgia. So now you got those two. Then what if Cincinnati does lose? Now you have to drop Cincinnati out. Now who do you put in?
Notre Dame.
Hey, what if Alabama beats Georgia and everyone else holds serve? Is Michigan number 1?
No.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Michigan's
Michigan's
number
definitely number one.
I didn't consider that.
Definitely.
So 1, and then who would be 4?
Notre
Cincy,
Dame.
Would they
or
would-
Oklahoma State, or Notre Dame?
Would they? No. If Alabama beats Georgia, would they make Georgia Alabama 2-3 for a rematch in a couple of weeks?
I don't think I don't think the SEC would allow that.
Yeah,
And they're the kings.
Paul
they're
Feinbaum's
doing all
not
of
going
this.
for that.
Yeah.
No.
So Georgia would have to go to 4.
Correct.
So then Michigan plays
Alabama
Georgia.
2.
No, Georgia would stay. They'd be 2-3. That's right. Yeah, they have to play each other then. That's right.
Exactly.
Keep forgetting. But if Michigan's 1, let's say Cincy loses, Notre
Then they're
Dame
gone.
or Oklahoma State moves up. It could be Notre Dame, Michigan, like we
Could
said.
be.
1-4.
Could be. Remarkable, man. It is so
Holy
there's so
crow.
much to think about it, and
Yeah.
it's so fun to be in this spot. And we have the Michigan Wolverines to thank for this. I mean, this is something that as a Michigan fan you really didn't consider for a long, long time. Now I know, Indianapolis has always been the butt of a lot of Michigan jokes, right? Oh, Jimmy? Yeah, you could take your team to Rome, but can you take them to Indianapolis?
I'm guilty.
All those jokes are now over, right? And it does feel like the tide is turning a little bit for the Michigan Wolverines. And again, Braylon, I do want to take just 2 minutes and mention the crowd.